I, Muhammad Al-Khalif, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee that you support and nothing but the how help me God.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the Mandera County Referral Hospital. For the 2 financial years, it had a qualified opinion. And there were cross-cutting issues for the hospitals. For the Mandera County Referral, there were 2 qualifying issues. There were 4 issues on lawfulness. Then there are also 6 issues on internal controls. For the 2 years, there were similar issues, just cross-cutting. Then for Mandera North Sub-County Level 4, it had a qualified opinion for the 2 years. There were 5 qualifying issues, 1 issue on emphasis of matter. On lawfulness, there were 3 issues. And then on effectiveness of internal controls, we had 5 audit findings. That is for Mandera North. And then for LWAC, it was a qualified opinion. It had 1 issue on qualification. On lawfulness, it had 4 issues. And then on internal controls, it had 5 issues. That is LWAC. Then lastly, for LAFE, Sub-County Level 4, it was a qualified opinion for the 2 financial years. It had 4 issues on qualifying, 3 issues on lawfulness, and 6 issues on internal controls. Thank you.
The committee has identified about 5 issues which are cross-cutting, which we would like to hear some clarifications from the governor. The first issue is non-disclosure of property, plant, and equipment in all the hospitals. If you go through the queries, this cuts across all the hospitals, where the ownership of the assets is still not in the name of the hospital. So maybe, Governor, you can tell this committee what you are doing about this issue, because if your assets are not declared, then it means your financial statements do not give a true picture of what is on the ground. And that is a query that cuts across all the hospitals. So maybe you can tell this committee, we know we are going to adapt your written responses, but just for the record, we want to know verbally what you are doing about this.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. And on the issue of non-disclosure, it's true it cut across all the health facilities. First and foremost, I want to state that most of these hospitals, like MANDERA Referral Hospital, was registered in 2019 as level 4. We are now trying to upgrade it to level 5, which we have done the last assessment, and we expect to get a feedback from the council. For LWAC and RAMO, level 4 registration was done in 2020, while LAFE is actually done in 2024, meaning until this year, LAFE level 4 was actually was level 3 during the audit. And because we have not put in place a proper committee, and the hospitals are managed by the Hospital Management Committee, all the assets is actually held by the executive. So we are the one who does procurement, we are the one who does the asset depreciation, we are the one who does the disclosures at the county executive level. But the hospitals have their own list of assets under them. So we are now came up with a FIF Act, which is very clearly explain how the hospital will be run. We have started the appointment of CEOs for MANDERA Referral Hospital. We are constituting boards also, which actually address the issue of the internal controls. So going forward, and you have upgraded all the sub-county hospital now to level 4, we're going to now transfer these assets to the hospital. There are also some assets which were under the national government previously, which you are in the process of concluding through the intergovernmental agency. And issues like land, we are trying to do titling of those properties so that once we do the land registration properly, then it can be transferred to the hospital. But otherwise, all the assets which are in our hospitals, procurement was done by the executive through the Department of Health Services, and we disclosed during the audit of the executive, arm of the government. Thank you.
Yes, you see, what we expect as a committee is that all the lands or all the properties that the hospital sits in should actually ideally be in the name of the hospital, not the national government or the county government. It is the hospital, because now the hospitals are separate reporting entities from the county government. So maybe before I allow the members to chip in, can we have the auditor, your comments on the clarification by the governor?
Maybe before that, on matters land, the entire Mandera County, the number of registered plots or title plots are less than 1,000, the entire Mandera County. And none of our government lands are actually registered. So we are in process of doing that. We have started. And in the next 2 months, or by early next year, we expect to release about 9,000 titles, which includes government land, public utilities, and private land. So at the moment, those lands are not adjudicated. They are just being donated by the community to the facility. So we are in the process of now doing surveying and registration, and it's across Mandera County. I said less than 1,200 titles in the entire Mandera County. So we are now in process of doing about 10,000 by early next year. So part of them, about over 100 plus, is the public utilities, including and government land, including the hospital. Thank you.
The auditor.
Thank you, Chair. The hospital has a list of assets that were transferred from the executive and the national government. However, it does not have figures that can be disclosed in the financial statements. Thank you.
Yeah, so which means valuation has not been done.
Yes, yes, Chair.
So maybe, Governor, you can comment on that as well. What plans do you have to do valuation of the assets and prepare an asset register?
I said we have declared or disclosed under executive audit when we are doing the audit for the executive part side. But now that we are forming committees and we have enacted new acts that actually allow us our hospital to be run by independent board and the CEO, we're going to do the transfer of the numbers also, not only the list going forward. Thank you.
So maybe in our interim recommendation, we will recommend that you give attention to the matter of asset management in the hospitals, the identification of these assets, change of ownership of these assets, and an asset register. It needs to be prioritized. I don't know whether it is to be important to not to peg the ownership, transfer of ownership of these lands on the wider program for the county, which I know will take long. Is it possible just to have a program for the hospitals so that it takes a shorter time than having to wait for the entire county?
Yeah, for Mandera referral, we are almost there because Mandera town is, the plan has already been approved by the county assembly. But for the sub-counties, we still have time to go on issues of land because we have done our spatial planning. We have submitted plan for Elwak and Kuchulo to county assembly. They are in process in it. And doing for all the sub-counties and getting title for land might not be done except for the referral hospital in Mandera town. Might take a bit of time. But for the other assets, it's possible we can do.
Very well. We will give a recommendation on this, honorable members. Another issue that the auditors have picked up of importance is the query on late submission of financial statements for all the hospitals. This one, I think subsequently, from the audit report, the statements have been submitted. Is that the case, Auditor?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, but for cautionary reasons, we are still going to give an interim recommendation. Those accounting officers, it is against the Public Audit Act not to submit financial statements. So for cautionary reasons, we will give our recommendations on that. Then there is this matter of UHC. USG is a universal health care. The requirements that have to be met. There seems to be a disparity between the referral hospital and other hospitals. When I look at the staff levels, looks like we have more than adequate requirements for Mandera Referral Hospital and even in equipments. And the other hospitals seem to be understaffed with less equipment as per the UHC requirements. So what are you doing to rationalize this, Governor?
Thank you, Chair. This one, I've already acted on this. And 3 weeks ago, I did sub-county tours for 3 constituencies, about 5 sub-counties. We commissioned the operationalization of a theater at Banissa and Lefe. Previously, it has never been there. And I said earlier, for Mandera North and Lefe registration or upgrading just was done this year, while for Ramo it was a bit earlier, that is 2020, and Elwak around 2020. So what we have done is now is that we have redistributed the staff, and we are also recruiting about about 90 nurses, over 24 lab technologists, around 11 medical officers, and then few specialists, so that we distribute it to the sub-counties. We have realized that, and we are correcting the gaps. So this has already been acted on.
Okay, so just give us maybe another 10 or so minutes for a clarification on lack of hospital management team in the hospitals. Governor, you know, having the management team is key. This query has been flagged out by the auditors. So can you just clarify this matter, please?
Chair, we have a hospital management team, but what was actually raised was the board.
The last issue on hospitals is the issue of automation, especially on matters of cash management and compliance to FIF Act. Maybe you can comment on that. This is the last item on hospitals.
Chair, we are working. We have already automated our revenue collection, but there is small gap that we had because we have not connected our hospital to the hospital management system. We have already partnered with the Ministry of Health, the State Department of Medical Services, and the ICT Authority. We have gone to an agreement. We have put infrastructure in place, especially for the Mandera Level 5 Hospital and LWAC, which we're going to be done very soon. And then once we are done with the two, then we're going to expand it to the other 6 sub-county hospitals. But on the revenue, we have already taken action. We have engaged a team of consultants 2 months ago. They have handed over the report, including how we run our system. We are working towards that, and our focus is that we did also amend our FIF bill just last week through the county assembly because it had a bit of issues. We have aligned it to the national government agenda and bring in the issue of UHC, which actually is a very important thing, and then the new insurance program. So we are working towards that. For the hospital, for referral hospital and LWAC, structures has already done, infrastructure has already been done, inspection done. We are just waiting for a team from Nairobi, from the Ministry of Health and the ICT to come and do the installation. Thank you.
Yes, Chair, just an issue that I think is very pertinent is the issue of preparation of financial statements for the FIF, which is very key. Maybe the governor can tell us how far they are with that and if we can expect financial statements in 24-25 for audit by the Auditor General. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, please. They will look at it intensively on their own, and where there are gaps, they will still write to you for additional clarifications. Last item is municipalities. Report I'm having here from the auditors. Maybe auditors, you can quickly, you can see the team leaving is okay, just changing the seats. So quickly, the auditor, you can give us a brief on this.
Thank you, Chair. There are 2 municipalities, that is LWAC and Mandera. For the 3 years, they had a qualified opinion, although Mandera municipality in the first year had an unqualified opinion. That is 2020-2021. So I will read the issues for 2023 for Mandera municipality. For qualification issues, there are 4 issues. Emphasis of matter, there was 1 issue. On lawfulness, there were 4 issues, and then on internal controls, there was 1 issue. For Elwak municipality, it was a qualified opinion for the 3 years. And for 2022-23, there were 5 issues on qualification. 1 issue under other matter, 2 issues under lawfulness, and 3 issues under effectiveness of internal control. Thank you, Chair.
The report I'm having here from the clerk is that most of the issues have been addressed. Is that the case?
It's the case, Chair.
But there is 1 issue of concern to the committee, Honorable Governor, is the issue of delayed remittance of statutory deduction. That is NHIF and NSSF. You can comment on that.
Chair, it is true that has been cross-cutting issue in all the 3 years, and the reason just has been the same. We have been having a challenge, although we are getting a good support from Senate on the issue of disbursement by National Treasury. Sometime delay as about 3 months. So we can only submit the deduction once we get the disbursement. That has been a challenge. And the second challenge has been NSF had their branch office in Wajir County, which we complained, and they have just opened a satellite office in Mandera. So we tried as much as possible. Once we get a disbursement, we pay them. But the delay has been because of the delays by National Treasury on disbursing the funds. Thank you.
Very well. Auditor, your comments on that?
Thank you, Chair. It is true the municipalities have been paying statutory deductions late, and the explanation they give is that there are delays in terms of exchequer releases. However, it's paid late, even up to current, so it's a challenge that we need to address. Thank you, Chair.
Mark?
Yes, Chair, maybe as you look at this matter, there's also the concern of the penalties that are levied by the various statutory deductions lateness. So maybe that also needs to be addressed, Chair.
Yeah, Governor, how are you handling the penalties?
The deductions and the payments are done through system, which is a system generated. And this is a challenge that we are now trying to cure by actually delegating revenue collection to municipalities, so that if maybe we get delays from National Treasury, we can use our own source revenue to cure this. But that has been a challenge, and it's still is a challenge for us as county government across the country.